Hello, Michael Hopkins from the Vet Talk Radio Show. I'm Kerry Hines. It is so great to have you with us. Also, want to take a moment to just kind of acknowledge our incredible fans of all of the shows and across all of our platforms, from the Hair Radio Morning Show, from the Vet Talk Radio Show, from our Hair Radio community, from all across our social media to just about everywhere, and now our incredible new Zoom audience. So we want to just take a moment to welcome everybody to today's presentation. Also, want to salute the veterans. Very important to us that we always remember our veterans. So, Michael Hopkins, let's lead in there. Now, you are the host of the Vet Talk Radio Show. You are with this, as of this moment, you're in the midst of your second season, and we are super excited about that. We want to talk about the early days and so much more. So, Michael, again, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Kerry.
Absolutely. So,
Pleasure to
Michael,
be here.
yes, thank you. So let's lead in there. Let's start at the beginning. So you've been with us for a couple of years, pretty much close again at this time, about coming up on 2 years. What can you say about, well, first of all, why don't we tell everybody what the Vet Talk Radio Show?
That's what it's all about. The Vet Talk Radio Show is all about the veterans. And it started out and it just covers and it educates veterans, it educates the advocates, their families. That's what the Vet Talk Radio Show is all about. Very big on education in the claims process. That's what it's all about.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit more because it seems to me that it is about the claims process on behalf of the veterans. It's more than just advocacy. I think you really help them to make a difference in what they receive in terms of compensation. And this can make a big difference in folks' lives and the quality of life they're able to lead. So I salute you for that. And not to mention something very important of late, and that is that you are an accredited claims agent. So I need to repeat that, an accredited claims agent. So and that is, well, why don't you tell everybody what is an accredited claims agent, Michael Hopkins?
Well, Kerry, pretty much an accredited claims agent is a person that has been selected by the VA in Washington, D.C., the Veterans Affairs Office, to help represent veterans. We're not lawyers by no means, but we have been trained in the laws that govern veterans and claims for veterans. And that's basically what we do. We're authorized, we've taken a test, extensive background check, and we're authorized by VA to help veterans. We're accredited by them. See, it's a big difference between an accredited veterans advocate and somebody that's non-accredited. It's a big difference.
What is
Non-accredited?
Yes.
Well, the non-accredited agents and organizations that help veterans, they can do a good job of helping veterans. The only thing is they're not really sanctioned by the VA, the Office of Veteran Affairs in Washington, D.C. They're not really sanctioned. They also don't have the same type of access that accredited claims agents have when it comes to veterans records and when they're going through the claims process. As an accredited agent, I have access to veterans records throughout the whole process so that I can look things up. I can tell them where they are in the claims process. I actually have a opportunity. In other words, I can look out for veterans when they bring me on board to represent them.
Now, Michael
That's a
Hopkins,
big difference.
that is a big difference. And uh, how's this been received by the veterans, your assistants?
Oh, wow. Wow, Kerry, that's a very good question.
Yes, thank you.
And it has been fantastic with the veterans that I know. And I've been introduced to veterans who I don't know as far as I've never met them and so forth. But that accreditation makes a big difference. A lot of the guys have all kinds of issues and things, and they need representation. That's what they need. They need somebody that can get in and sort through whatever it is they're trying to file for, who can fight for them, who can do the things that sometimes, Carrie, they just can't do as a veteran. They just can't because they don't have the access to the regional
Understood.
offices
Yes.
and the court system for veterans, and they don't have that kind of access. So sometimes they're kind of, spinning their wheels with the
Right.
claims.
Right.
They get frustrated and they're angry and they can't figure out how to get awarded
Well, Michael,
compensation.
let me jump in on this. And this is very important for the folks out there who are tuned in. You want to check out Michael's show. First of all, Michael, you're across all the platforms. You're constantly expanding this incredible career that you have developed. And we are so excited. We're so excited for you at the Hair Radio Network and all that we're doing. So I want to kind of go back. We were known in the hair and beauty world as established broadcasters and podcasters. And I would love to know what gave you the insight to think that you should present your incredible broadcast of Vet Talk Radio to our network. What was that inspiration?
It was I was kind of afraid to approach you because, I knew what you did on the show. And there was someone else at the time, an organization I was with, and we were supporting that organization through your broadcast, through the Head Radio Morning Show. And it just came to me one day. I got to thinking about it and I said, wow, this is such a great platform. And it would be nice to broadcast to veterans like myself that a lot of times we're busted and disgusted with the compensation and claims and just hearing from another veteran of their victories and triumphs in that. So that inspired me along with talking to you, and it inspired me to ask that question. And I was gauging just to see if you had interest in that area of veterans. And like I said, I was a little nervous and I didn't know what to expect. But, you took an interest in this. And when I looked around again, there we were on the air. I was like, wow,
Yes, and
yeah.
and I have to say those early days, in launching the radio show, we do a lot of preparation for both the Vet Talk radio show, which airs on Tuesday mornings on our network, on our radio network, that is, at 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 for folks in Central. And what I love about this is that and of course on the Hair Radio Morning Show, where we get to talk to Michael. You're not just hosting Vet Talk Radio, you're also one of our incredible on air personalities each day, along with Nicole Marie, myself, on the program. And you still get to engage with the veterans that we recognize every single solitary day on every broadcast. How does that make you feel?
Oh, Kerry, it is just fantastic. The funny thing, you and I have talked about this, but the funny thing is, when I went to college, this is what I studied. I studied radio, TV, film production. And for the last umpteen years, I never got a chance to work in this realm. And I went to college for it. I graduated, got my degree in radio, TV, film, and promptly went into the military. And then from the military, I did law enforcement, I did high level security, Department of Defense buildings, and Homeland Security.
Well,
I did
now
all
you
of
are
those
here.
things over the last, God, man, so long.
Yes.
But
But
it's like full circle coming back to something that I was very passionate about, being in the broadcast arena. And it's
awesome.
all thanks to you.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But I tell you, Michael, you're doing an incredible job hosting this show. You have raised a lot of issues and things that the veterans might not have been so privy to for whatever reason. And you shine the light on a lot of these issues, these causes, uh, these, things that, and not just do you bring up the subjects and help them so much, but you really give them the solutions and what they can do to really get their claims processed, I believe, more effectively. So this is something that is ginormous. And your
Oh,
early
yes, it is,
season,
Kerry.
yeah, so I want you to share with us some of the highlights from your early season, from both seasons, if you'd like. What are some of the favorite moments that you've broadcast on the show?
Well, one of my favorite moments was the 8-part series that we did on the top terms every veteran should know.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and Kerry Hines, I got such rave reviews from veterans. And it
What?
was
Tell us
just,
that. Yeah.
they said, wow, these are things they needed to know. And it all stemmed from, I'm out there in the trenches with the vets, and the same questions kept coming up. Well, what's TDIU? Well, what kind of claim is this? What is a standard claim versus a fully developed claim? And it would be questions like that, and I would answer their questions, but it became more and more and more questions. So I sat down one day, nice quiet in my office, and I just started writing out terms that I knew that I used and continue to use that help me help veterans understand the claims process. And before I looked up, Kerry, there were there were 40 different terms that they're very useful and helpful.
Well, I
It
love
makes
this.
the veteran,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it just, they get to understand. Nobody is pushing paper at them. Hey, sign this, do that, and getting them to file. They actually get education. And
I
that's the
agree.
key word in the claims process. It's education.
Oh,
You
yes.
have
Well,
to be
Michael,
educated.
I
You
have
have
to
to be
say,
educated, Kerry. Yeah, strategy, uh, how to put the pieces together. You have to know all of those things when you're filing for compensation as a veteran.
well, listen,
In other words, you
yeah.
have to know where you're going.
Yes, and speaking of that, Michael, I have to just say, what are some of the long-term plans that you have for the show. So where would you like the broadcast to go? Speaking of going.
Wow. Okay. Now that's a very good question. That's a very good question. One of my goals is to give back to the veteran community through what we're doing with VR. There's one cause that I really like about tiny houses for veterans, and the homeless population, and just worthy causes that I see that as a veteran, I want to give back. I want to have places where veterans can go just to be a veteran and just be around other veterans. That's been one of my goals. And I want to have a 24-hour, 7-day a week network that's video, uh,
Video content,
broadcasting,
radio broadcasting content. Yeah.
education, and
Yeah.
other
Well,
veterans,
yes.
veterans telling their stories. That's another one. Just
Well, Michael,
veterans telling their story.
we're gonna roll some of these out, and we're going to keep you guys out there informed. It is incredible. And so I'm Kerry Hines. I'm based out of Brooklyn, New York. I get uh, to assist Michael with shaping these broadcasts and this incredible opportunity to work with you, Michael, and the veterans. So I just want to say thank you again, and I salute you and thank you for your service. And all the veterans who are tuned in right now and listening to this very broadcast. I have to say
Very
thank
much
you
so.
and thank you for your service. Michael, thank you for helping us to pull all this together.
Quite
And
welcome, Kerry Hines.
yes, I want to
It's
thank
always a
all,
pleasure.
yes, all the folks who
Yep.
support
And to
us.
my vet brothers and sisters, hurrah.
All right. We'll see you guys back here. Thank you, Michael. Great job.